Sorry. It's a little early in the program to be already making you feel awkward.
Where's the green at, Bob?
Okay, so as you know,
the socks.
I did, yeah, literally nothing. And it's not much love to all who are going to go out and have wonderful times on this St. Patrick's Day, and to everyone of Irish heritage. I just don't think about things like that. I just don't.
Sometimes he gets really lucky and he tells me about it.
I don't
this
wanna,
was just in rotation.
I don't want to say that it's a little bit on you. I received no text.
I do text.
You know that I don't remember these things. So really, is this a Bob problem or is this a Tara problem?
It's a Tara problem. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I have another child. Good morning. I'm meteorologist Tara Blake.
And I'm passing the buck. No, I'm Bob Herzog. Happy St. Patty's Day, everybody. We are looking at how the Tri-State is going to celebrate all things Irish just ahead.
They will remember their green.
Yes.
We also have Space News just ahead. Cody Hefner will be here from the Cincinnati Museum Center to talk about an out-of-this-world Omnimax film. I'm excited to talk on it.
Yes, I am too. But first, let's see what's brewing in the Tri-State.
Top of the morning to ya.
Oh.
Can you say it?
Top of the morning to you.
I'm terrible
No, we're
at
both,
accents.
neither one of us very good.
That's pretty good.
Honestly.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Many people celebrating over the weekend, but there's still lots of St. Patrick's Day fun to be found across the Tri-State today, too.
Yeah, Irish Heritage, the Irish Heritage Center, I should say, of Greater Cincinnati, is hosting a St. Patrick's Day party at their headquarters in the East End. Doors open at 11:30. There will be a mass at noon, followed by dancing, genealogy sessions, whole lot of food, and more, all kinds of good things.
Ooh, genealogy sessions.
Yes.
Okay. And this is the biggest St. Patrick's Day party in Northern Kentucky. Irish-owned Marley Malone's in Covington has partnered with the Cincinnati Gaelic Athletic Association for a full day of revelry. It started at 7 this morning with kegs and eggs. All 3 floors of the pub and the outdoor tent will have live music, plus the Emerald City Police and Fire pipe and drums. The Irish step dancers will be performing as well. Bob has been one of those before.
They injured me.
Drinks and food, including their famous Guinness stew, will be served all day.
And the bar just opened a few minutes ago at the Red Leprechaun down at the Banks. You can expect a whole lot of celebrating down there today. There will be a party tent at the Banks with live performances, including a show by the Naked Karate Girls and Afro Man. Going to be lots of good times to be had. Many have been making merry for a couple of hours now already, depending on their location. So it'll be kind of
College
interesting.
days, kegs and eggs were definitely the start of St. Patrick's Day. As an adult,
Did you, I say back in those times, did you celebrate accordingly?
for sure.
Okay. I've just never, like St. Patrick's Day, I've never done a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It just hasn't, I just haven't.
For you, would be celebrating with the green noodles.
Okay, and those are here?
Yes.
Those are in the building?
Would that be your type of celebration?
Probably.
If there's no alcohol
A little bit more my
involved?
speed. By the way, I love all the pieces of video that we have of people celebrating. And I don't think this is part of like Irish heritage in any way, but did you notice almost every person, when they realized the camera was on them, went, bah, bah.
That's called alcohol.
That's what I figured. Yeah, I wonder if when people see themselves in videos like that, go, ooh.
They'll say that was a good time.
That was a choice I made.
Yeah.
That was a choice
the
I made.
boss isn't watching.
Because we'll now show this video for the next 15 years.
Yes. 25 possibly.
Yes, we will be into 3-dimensional television at that time. We will still use that
Your
video.
face will literally come out of the screen like
right.
that and come back.
We'll update it just for you. Joe Burrow, how about this news? You want to talk about the boom just dropping on a Sunday night.
This is lucky news.
Yeah, so his top 2 targets will be around for some time.
This is huge. The Associated Press is reporting 4-year deals are in the works for both Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Chase will become the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history, earning a whopping $161 million. Hold on. Ooh. $112 million of that is guaranteed.
Wow.
He became the 6th wide receiver in the Super Bowl era to achieve the receiving Triple Crown. And Higgins will get $115 million. He was tied for 6th in the league this past season with 10 touchdown catches. The Bengals are also hoping to reach an extension. I love this, with Trey Hendrickson, despite giving him permission to seek a trade.
If they somehow pull off getting all 3 of those guys signed to long-term deals, it would be a shocker. You know, they as we mentioned there, have given Trey the opportunity to seek out trades, and they still have so many question marks in terms of how they're going to get better on the defensive side of the ball. And I think it's very easy to say, you let Trey Hendrickson leave, how could you possibly get better on the defensive side of the ball?
Right.
But if they're able to pull off some kind of trade where they can bring in several pieces, because for a guy like Trey Hendrickson, you probably could get several pieces, but I would also hate to see him leave. So I don't. There's still so many things that have to be answered on the defensive side of the ball. Because let's face it, they had T. Higgins and Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow throwing to them last season,
right.
And they didn't win a lot of games last season, at least as many as we would have liked.
More is needed.
Yeah. So it's great to have those pieces long term. You got some other things you still have to do.
But there were also a lot of people that were recently signed that everyone was kind of shaking their head, and I feel like this makes it all make sense.
Right, because you were waiting for the big thing.
Yes.
And there kept being like
little
piece here, a little piece there,
yeah.
and then boom, and they just boomed, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool to wake up to on a Monday.
Yes, even though I was afraid it wasn't real.
When it first came out,
yes,
I wanted to see
check.
Official sources and
yes, because we've
100%.
seen this. I feel like for months.
Yeah, when I finally saw, who was it? It was Jordan Schultz, I think, who was an NFL insider for Fox Sports, and then Tom Pelissero from NFL Network. Once they kind of both put it out, I'm like, okay, this is the thing.
Real.
This is a real thing.
It's exciting.
Speaking of exciting.
Yeah, this dude's about ready to burst.
Selection,
Bengals and basketball news.
Selection Sunday for me is like Christmas morning for little kids.
Yeah.
I love it so much, and we have this touch screen thing in the other room. Would you mind if I go in there and just?
Because I'm not doing it.
So I'm gonna just give me a moment. This is going to. It's further
there,
than
Bob.
one might think. Hi, hang
look
on.
at him.
It's over here. And we'll go. We'll go. Okay.
You needed a basketball. He should have been dribbling a basketball.
All right. I should have. And I've got those kinds of skills. I've got that skill set. So here's the bracket, right? This is what crazy college basketball fans like me wait for sort of all season long. And it arrived. And one of the biggest surprises, twofold. One of the biggest surprises starts with this. North Carolina, out of the ACC, gets in the tournament. All right? How was the question most people had when they saw this come up. But more importantly for people around here, when they saw North Carolina get selected to be in the NCAA tournament, most people thought, well, there's no way Xavier's getting in. North Carolina just took the spot that Xavier was going to have. Ends up not being the case, because then later, as they were announcing the Midwest bracket, we find out Xavier is in. They're playing in the first four. They will play in that play-in game in Dayton on Wednesday night. I think they're a late game on Wednesday night. I will be at that game. I bought tickets yesterday. So very, very excited for that. But here's what also happened as Xavier gets announced. They win against Texas. They get to their first round game. Their first round game is against Illinois. Obviously, that's not an easy game by any stretch of the imagination. But if Xavier would beat Illinois, okay, and the Kentucky Wildcats, who got a 3 seed in the Midwest, do what most expect them to do against Troy in the first round, then in the second round, on Sunday, these are all if. That's what you do with the brackets. You go if. But if Xavier beats Texas, then beats Illinois in their first round game, right? They would play Kentucky in the second round on Sunday. My basketball worlds will collide right before my eyes. And it will be Kentucky gets the 3 seed, all really cool stuff. Other things I want to mention very, very quickly. I was so hopeful for the Miami Redhawks. Then they came up against Akron in the MAC tournament championship game. Akron beat them by 2 points. So Akron comes in, gets a 13 seed in the East, and that is probably the spot where Miami would have ended up if they had won the MAC championship. And unfortunately, they came up just a little bit short. Let's jump over to the West, because this could be crazy, because you've got down at the bottom half of this bracket, you've got like 3, I think, Hall of Fame coaches already. And you could be having a lot of matchups where they play each other. So Arkansas plays Kansas in the first round, okay? John Calipari is now the coach of the Razorbacks. You've got St. John's playing Omaha in the first round, now coached by Rick Pitino, also a former UK head coach. So if they both win their first round matchups, you got Pitino versus Calipari in round 2. And that would be That would be a wild, wild contest to watch those two former UK head coaches going at each other. That would be fun. Also, want to point out as we'll bounce up into, hit all the right buttons right there, as we jump up into the South bracket. I do want to point out for any Louisville fans in the area, you know, I'm a big UK guy. This is pretty well documented. Louisville only getting an 8 seed. They got hosed. Louisville with Pat Kelsey now as the head coach was outstanding this year. Much better than anybody gave them hopes for with Kelsey coming in as the new coach this year compared to where Louisville was last season. They had a great year. They got to the ACC championship game, and they only get an 8 seed. I thought they'd be 5, sort of 6th at worst, but only an 8 seed. The upside, they get to play in Kentucky. They get to play in Rupp Arena. So potentially that Auburn-Louisville matchup in round 2, if they would both win their first round games, could be really, really something. Okay, with that, Tara, I'm getting ready to come back to you now. Is that enough? Is there anything else you want me to mention while I'm here?
I think the most devastating thing that I heard was the Miami of Ohio, obviously.
Just a bummer. They had a great season.
The best season.
Yeah.
I got to say that for Jen, because I know at home she's screaming about that unfortunate. But they're in the NIT.
Yes.
So
yes.
Obviously still.
And I haven't seen the full bracket. Did you see get announced for anything? Because you've also got that new postseason tournament, the Crown, that'll be played in Vegas. So I don't know who went to the NIT yet, and I don't know who has been invited to the Crown yet, and I don't know if all the invitations have gone out. So
Mr. Basketball right there.
We'll watch that, but it's the big dance that tends to get my focus.
It's exciting.
It is.
It's exciting.
I'm coming back. Here I go.
Okay, come on back. I got married in March, the end of March, and guess what? Everyone was watching before and after we got married.
I believe it. I absolutely believe it.
But it's okay. I was okay with it. All right, so Bob's taking a breather.
Okay, here we go.
Take some deep breaths, okay?
Yeah.
Spring starts Thursday, and the Hard Rock Casino is getting ready for its outdoor concerts, which are more summer-like, but I get it. Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons kicks off the season May 10th. Other highlights include Trace Adkins on June 6th, Young the Giant on June 27th, and Jake Owen on August 30th. Tickets for all the summer's concerts are on sale now. Which would you see?
I think it's only fair to mention,
yes,
it wasn't that long ago that a lot of people were worried.
Can you breathe?
About. I'm good.
Okay.
But they were worried about Frankie Valli.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you saw any of that video of him performing, and I can't remember where it was.
Yeah.
But he's an older gentleman at this point, and people were sort of worried about his ability to actually perform, and if he was being forced to perform and things like that. So the fact that he is still signing on, and I spoke to that and said, no, I'm doing this because I want to do it and all that kind of thing. Be sort of interesting for folks to go out there. Trace Adkins has some fun tunes.
Yeah,
I'm not going to lie. Trace Adkins has some fun tunes. So, but I've never been to a concert at Hard Rock.
I haven't either. Out there on the lawn, I think that would be a cool venue. Obviously, adults only.
But if the weather cooperates, I think you got a good spot
Beautiful.
to see
I try
a
and
show.
do the forecast for them. When they have those concerts outside.
Cool.
Pretty good.
All right. It is almost 14 minutes after 8. All the world is a stage. We are talking about some of the live performances you can find taking to those stages around the tri-state. That's next on ARC Cincinnati.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
No, but that describes my teenage years perfectly.
Person, place, or thing. Today at 5 on Star 64.
When it comes to the feud,
if you built a love shack, what would you be sure to have in it?
you either nail it
A bad.
or fail it.
A big chicken. Kitchen.
You're gonna have a big chicken in there.
Family Feud.
Tonight starting at 5:30 on Star 64.
Did they just hop from a baseball game to a show on Max without leaving DirecTV?
It's like all their apps and channels are connected.
Oh, it's all connected. Shows, movies, sports, cooking shows. Oh my God.
Is she talking to us?
Tell me, how does DirecTV put all your favorite stuff on one home screen? Uncanny content suggestions based on your watch history? Or mind control?
Were you recently electrocuted?
A better way to watch whatever you want to watch.
Well, I, for one, am intrigued.
It's been this way for a while now. The same products, the same offerings, year after year after year. It's time for innovation that benefits you. Introducing the Fiesel Solar Roof, using sleek, low-profile solar shingles. Installs like a traditional roof, protects from the elements, saves money, and generates clean energy. Power your home with the Feasel Solar Roof. It's time for a change.
It's the Blue Compass RV Spring Blowout Sale. Pick your RV, pick your payment. Travel trailers from $97 a month. Fifth wheels from $273 a month. Motorhomes from $499 a month. Only at Blue Compass RV. This is Big Day. Big Day.
Jazziest.
I'm telling you, I like it.
All right, let's take a peek behind the curtain at some of the concerts and live performances that are coming to stage.
Yeah, these are just a few of the shows we found opening this weekend. The Tri-State opening tomorrow at the Aronoff Center, a touring production of the musical Come From Away. It is a wonderful show. It tells the true story of the passengers left stranded in a small town in Newfoundland during the days following the September 11th attack. This is a tiny little town, and they just took all of these people in, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, and just said, we'll take care of you. Come From Away is at the Aronoff through this Sunday. It's part of the Broadway and Cincinnati series. Up next in this series is And Juliet.
Cool. And Playhouse in the Park is getting ready for a new production. It's called the Book Club Play, and it will be opening at the Playhouse Rouse Theater. This Sunday, the show is about comedy, and it is a comedy about a book club that becomes the subject of a documentary filmmaker. The Book Club Play has some mild adult language, so you probably want to leave the kiddos at home. You can catch the Book Club Play at the Playhouse through April 10th. That was a lot of play, book, club,
comedy,
comedy, yeah.
Mild adult language.
That's what you heard?
Seriously, you said other things too, but that was I went. The Cincinnati Pops back in concert this weekend at Music Hall. The orchestra is presenting a show called American Originals Harlem Renaissance. This year marks 100 years since this period of African-American artistic and musical excellence. You'll hear the music of people like Billie Holiday, Langston Hughes, Duke Ellington. There are 3 showtimes, Friday at 7:30, Saturday at 7:30, and Sunday at 2.
Oh, I'd love to be there for
That'd be
that.
great.
That sounds amazing. All right, this is not your average circus. Cirque Italia is once again coming to the Tri-State, bringing their water circus to Florence this weekend. What sets Cirque Italia apart from other circuses? That it's all set on a stage with 35,000 gallons of water. There are death-defying stunts and unbelievable acrobats. Cirque Italia will be set up at the Florence Mall starting on Friday with 7 shows running through Monday.
Have you been?
I've been to a few Cirque shows, but not this one in particular.
I think Jen has been to that one before.
I feel like she has too, yeah.
And spoke very, very highly of it.
I mean,
I'm always
all of them
fascinated.
are unbelievable.
Yeah. And I just, not only because of the stunts they can do, but the setup, and everything. Sometimes they've done stuff with water, and they've done, I don't know. That's a lot of big rigs rolling down the road. I would think, you know what I mean, for setup and all that kind of thing.
It felt like the circus world was done.
Yeah.
And Cirque has actually upped the game. Right. When it comes to seeing the circus. Obviously, it's very different than seeing, your little carrots there with animals, but it's incredible athletes.
What these human beings can do is a truly remarkable thing.
Yeah, it's amazing. I want to know how they find them.
I feel like they just
my body in 8
they find each
ways.
other. I don't know what it is.
It's like magnets.
It's like when I see somebody in like a UK hat walking down the street, I'm like,
that's my
you know
guy.
what I mean? I think it's the same for Cirque people. They're like,
most circus performers aren't wearing a hat that says, "Hi, I'm a circus performer."
That's true, but they're very bendy when they move, and I think they naturally pick up. They just pick up on that as they're walking down the street.
All right, that makes sense. Oh, Anthony, behind the camera, you're a natural.
Oh, you're a Cirque fellow, aren't you, Anthony?
I am. All right, we've got 8:19 for you here. It is St. Patrick's Day here on ARC Cincinnati. We're celebrating with a little friendly competition.
No.
Great.
Oh, no.
That's next.
Teasdale Fenton offers an advanced deep cleaning service to remove dirt, stains, and pet odors from Oriental and fine area rugs. To schedule a cleaning of your area rugs, visit teasdalefenton.com or call today.
If you're at home right now and you're suffering from burning, tingling, or numb feet, you need to pay special attention to this next segment as we discuss neuropathy.
What is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is actually nerve damage to the feet and the legs primarily.
And what are the symptoms?
The major symptoms we see are numbness, burning, muscle cramps, problems with your balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It is absolutely treatable, and we can get some great results.
If you're experiencing burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands, or having balance issues, call today for your nerve damage screening. Your nerve damage screening will tell you if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our innovative treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe there is nothing that can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 25 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Act now and call to schedule your nerve damage screening. First 25 callers receive this screening for free.
Bend, swerve, and floor it to your local Mini dealer for unrivaled offers today.
Attention viewers of the CW Cincinnati. Watch The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. You won't want to miss the dynamic preaching and teachings of Pastor Jennings as he speaks the truth from God's Holy Bible. Watch The Truth of God Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. exclusively on the CW Cincinnati. You can also watch The Truth of God 24/7 on the TOG.TV.
Dublin, Ireland, where they're having a good time at Temple Bar. Oh my gosh, the shenanigans. Can you even imagine the shenanigans there? We've got our own shenanigans in various places around town as people are enjoying St. Patrick's Day. Get down to the Banks, Red Leprechaun, wherever you normally go, Molly Malone's. Have a great time today, but of course, have a great time while being very safe. That's what we would recommend.
Our forecast is actually very similar to theirs.
Oh, really?
Going to be chilly all day.
Boom.
So, I mean, that's how it should be.
Yes.
All right, we wanted to play a little game in honor of the day.
Yes. The game is higher or lower. Here's how it will work. We will put up an incorrect statistic on the board. Incorrect. And we will have to guess if the real stat is a higher or lower number, a bonus point to whoever can guess the closest to the real answer.
So just higher or lower on here, and then with our mouths we say the guess?
With our mouths.
Okay.
Here's question.
I didn't know if we were putting them both on the board.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just wanted to say that in an awkward way.
Thank you.
Question one, and AJ, just hold after the question so we don't see the answer.
Yes.
Thank you, brother. 15 million Americans claim Irish ancestry. Is the truth higher or lower? I'm just going to draw arrows.
Oh, okay.
That'll be faster.
I have pretty handwriting.
I have terrible handwriting.
Higher.
I also said higher.
I would think it would be higher.
We both said higher.
I'm going to go 30.
30 million. I will say 20. We both are right. Oh, wait, it's 31. Wow. According to the Census Bureau, more than 31.5 million residents claim Irish ancestry, second only to the German people at 43
and we're
million.
Both
German.
Bing.
High five on that. And both guessed that correctly, but you came closest.
I heard there's a
without
scoreboard.
going over. Oh, is there a scoreboard? I don't know.
That's what Tanner told me. Tanner, where's the scoreboard?
I don't know, but I have these envelopes here, and I realize, hey, here's an idea. Why don't you get as close to my face as you can for that scoreboard? Could you zoom in a little bit? I got a couple of nose hairs hanging out the bottom. Why don't you just go ahead and draw those in for me?
But your teeth look so good.
Good Lord, that's so much of my face. I'm so sorry, America. I'd like to apologize. What? Hey, Tanner, here's something funny.
Yeah.
I've got these envelopes here, and I didn't open any of it. Am I supposed? Oh.
I don't think were you not supposed to have the answer?
The answer is it's fine. It's fine.
We're not cheating.
Nope.
So
Question
it doesn't matter.
Number 2.
Okay.
The population of Ireland itself is around 8 million people. Is the truth higher or is it lower? I'm going
to be like Bob. Oh, we chose the same.
We went lower, and I'm going to say, wait, I'll say 6 million. What do you say?
Ireland is small. 4. 4 million.
Population of the
Did
Republic
you
of
say
Ireland?
6 million?
I
That's
did.
more.
What?
Hold on.
Well, it's not more than the original answer, right? Which was 8.
Oh, we're seeing the answer now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. The population of Ireland is around 5.3 million. But the population is growing as more people immigrate to the Emerald Isle. Wait, I have a question. This is important in terms of who got bonus points there.
Yeah.
Are we playing Price is Right rules? In which case you would have won because I went over what the actual answer
But you
was.
were actually closer.
Or are we going whoever's closest?
I think you're closer. That's my pick.
Closest, and then we're tied.
Yeah, so we should be tied.
Oh, that's exciting. Question. Look, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything with that.
like-
Hey, look! Let's look at my face again.
Can't you put the numbers on our face?
Look at that. That's so much. Look at. Have you ever noticed that one side of my lip goes up awkwardly, so you see gum? Like, look at you. You see, and I don't mean
Don't
John
point
gum. I just mean gum.
Don't point those things out.
Question 3. Guinness beer is one of Ireland's most popular exports. 5 million pints of Guinness Stout are consumed each day. Is the truth higher or lower? I'm going higher. Can you take me?
5 million.
I think it's more. I think it's more.
I really hope it's less.
I think it's more.
That's a lot.
Answer is higher. And neither one of us guessed on how much, but we'll just say over 10 million glasses of Guinness are enjoyed each day.
That is crazy.
In a year, get this, in a year, the world drinks enough Guinness to fill more than 800 Olympic-sized swimming pools. We don't have a drinking problem as a species at all. Not why? That's not a concern at all, is it?
From two people that
That's fine.
rarely drink, and he's never drank.
Oh, this is the last question.
Okay.
Now, so we have to guess a number this time.
You're winning, though.
I know, but we have to
you
guess a
know
number.
how I feel about losing.
You're really into winning. It's one of my favorite Tara Blake quotes of all time. I'm really into winning. Question 4. 80% of Americans plan on celebrating St. Patrick's Day. I'm going to go lower.
I am too.
And I'm going to say 65%.
Oh, I was going to say 60.
Okay. It's lower. Oh, it's 61. You win. You win the bonus. What does that make our score, though?
We're tied.
According to the National Retail Federation, only 61% of people said they had St. Patrick's Day plans, but those people were expected to spend around $7 billion.
Wow.
Apparently mostly on Guinness. Okay, so what? Give us the final score.
What's the final tally?
What does it all mean?
Teeth.
Oh my gosh! Is my nose
We're
really?
tied.
Is my nose that pointy?
We need a breaking.
Look how pointy my nose looks. Is it always like that? Look at that.
You are so handsome.
It looks very beak-like.
If that was that close to my face, I'd be crying right now.
I mean, I
You
knew
look
my
great.
eyebrows look like hedges. That's fine. I know. I accept that. But my Lord, there's a lot going on there.
We need a tiebreaker, Tanner. Come on, quickly.
What do you got, Tanner? Just throw one at us. Just throw any question about any topic ever in the history of all people. Go.
Tying is for losers.
Oh, what time is it in Ireland right now?
Oh, no.
I'll say 2:30 in the morning. No, it's ahead. Never mind. I'm terrible.
Plus 6 hours.
Yeah, 6 hours, and are they about
2 p.m.
They're ahead. Yeah, I meant
2
the other
p.m.
way. But yes, so she's right, and I'm terrible.
I don't know. What is it?
We're both wrong. What's the time? It's 12:30. Oh, they're not as far ahead as I thought they were.
Same.
Huh? How about that? Can we just
We'll
stop?
just
tie.
We'll both be winners.
Oh.
It's fine.
Oh,
All right, let's take a
we're
look at the
both winners.
forecast. We're both winners
Do we
today.
get orange slices and like our own little trophies?
Yes.
Oh, that's a much. I would prefer that. I actually would prefer that picture. Thank you for that.
Normally when pictures are chosen of me, it's from when I was pregnant and 50 pounds heavier. So I really appreciate the one that I had.
Doggone. When did I take I think the funny thing is, I think that's my picture on the website.
Yes.
It's like, they're like, here, let's take your picture, Bob.
Oh man.
And they got this
so
close to my face.
And I've asked the photographers before, even our very own friend, TR. I said, can you please
if you could get in the other room,
back.
that'd be great. That'd be great.
All right, let's take a look at the forecast
Let's
for
do that.
today. We
Let's
got
do
a
that.
St. Patrick's Day forecast, and everyone is not going to notice.
Okay.
Noses, lips,
Noses, oh.
gums, smiles, because it's going to be a fun day where things are going to just be relaxing and cheersing. It is a cold start this morning, though, in the 30s, feeling like the 20s. but it is going to be dry, so you're not going to have to battle showers, thunderstorms, or snow, which can absolutely happen on a day like this. Your highs in the low 50s. We will be warmer again tomorrow. Did it hurt you today the way that it hurt me to step outside?
Yeah, and normally, as you know, the cold is not...
Never bothered you anyway.
Thank you very much, Elsa. But no, I think because of the radical change when we'd been sitting up at the 70s, I had been out, running in shorts and a T-shirt and all that kind of stuff.
And you were in Florida before that.
Correct. So when I stepped out this morning,
it hurt.
Ooh, that's a little... I mean, the coat's in the back seat. I didn't actually wear it, but I have it.
I took a walk with my pup on Sunday, and I wore the winter coat. I'm like, this is making me angry.
Yeah. Ooh.
And I put a picture.
Have you been angry?
Yeah, I'm annoyed with the weather. I can't believe you didn't comment on it, actually. It's me in a coat.
And I should have, because there aren't that many pictures of you that exist where you're being angry.
Angry?
No, it's just not.
Take a look.
I will take a look. All right. Let's see. It is, we'll call it 8:31. We have space news. My Lord, we beamed Cody in. Cody, are you able to hear us? Probably. Anyway, we're going to be back with space news. We're going to try to fix our connection here. I don't know how we've done this.
He's speaking to
and
you,
how did we cut him off at the waist? Good Lord, Cody, are you okay? We'll be right back.
Nobody beats Windows Direct USA's buy 3, get 3 free offer. Plus, you can get a whole house of windows for just $99 a month at
WindowsDirectUSA.com. At Spectrum, we believe every day unlocks unlimited possibilities to bring you closer to the people and places you love. Spectrum transforms your gaming experience into a galaxy of adventures. And with the fastest, most reliable internet, you're always front row to the entertainment you love, no matter where. Get Spectrum Internet Advantage for $20 per month plus a 3-year price guarantee. Call 1-833-294-0246. Spectrum Internet gives you the power to stream all the shows, movies, and sports you love.
Garage door problems? Our door's open. Door not budging? Our door's open. Oh yeah. Our door is closed, too. A quality garage door and dependable service is more important than you think. Call 513-PDQ-DOOR.
Coping with grief can feel impossible, but help is available. Liz Bonus hosts a panel of experts about moving forward in a healthy way. March 23rd at 6 a.m. on Local 12. Sponsored by the following sponsors.
Right now at Polypro, we're running our 60-60-60 sale. So when you purchase your new concrete coating, you'll get a $60 Visa gift card plus either 60% off the installation or 60-month no interest financing. And when you call during this program, you'll also get up to 10 carbon fiber concrete stitches, which help reinforce cracks and stop them from spreading. A $350 value for free. This is one of our best deals of the year. So visit our website or call the number for your new floor from Polypro today.
A woman's body never stops changing, and neither should her healthcare. Join medical reporter Liz Bonus as she explores important issues in healthcare for women. Women and Medicine, sponsored by TriHealth, only on Local 12 News.
We have a warrant for your arrest. So many innocent victims. Call an ambulance. He will never hurt you again.
Law and Order SVU. Tonight at 8 on Star 64.
Love your bathroom again with stunning styles from Bath Direct USA. Experience all the features and comfort of a new walk-in shower. Visit us at
WSTR-TV. Suits. Back-to-back episodes Tuesday starting at 8 on Star 64.
Welcome back, everybody. A new crew has arrived at the International Space Station. They are there to replace the astronauts who, at least some of who, have been stuck there for months. After a few days of handover protocols, Sonny Williams and Butch Wilmore, who've been in space since September, will finally get to come home. They're scheduled to splash down back on Earth at around 5 p.m. tomorrow. Sonny and Butch will have been in space a total of 285 days, about 275 days longer than they had been scheduled to stay on the ISS.
This story has been amazing me for months and months and months and months. I hope they do get to go home, because remember, their last trip was supposed to be their way home, and they weren't able to go.
Right, but this time, like, another crew came up on a SpaceX thing, so sounds like all should be well.
Yes.
No need, by the way, to get stranded up in space like we are. Ooh. You can explore the final frontier without ever leaving the tri-state.
Joining us in space, thank you, Cody Hefner from the Cincinnati Museum Center.
Is the air habitable here?
You're fine. You can, if
you can lift it up, yeah.
Okay.
If you easy. Yeah, that's a good.
How does it feel?
It feels nice. You know, what they don't tell you about astronauts, and the biggest risk is you're just breathing in your breath the whole time in the helmet.
Yeah.
And that's rough because
Toothpaste doesn't work as well.
some of the astronaut food they give you,
Do you have this available over at the Museum Center during the movie? Of course
we do.
I thought this sounded amazing.
Yeah.
But
You know what? Talk to us about what you got going on. It's a new OmniMax film.
It's a new OmniMax film.
Yeah.
Space, the New Frontier.
Okay.
The new space age is right now.
Yeah.
So getting back to the moon, going to Mars, going beyond, building what's called a lunar gateway, which is essentially a launching off point to go to the moon, to go to Mars, kind of a refueling
like a pit stop.
station. Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
like the Buc-ee's of space.
And what's incredible is when we think about the space race of the '60s, it's very nationalistic. It's East versus West. It's U.S. versus USSR and the Soviets and things like that. Now it's humanity. Humanity is coming together. You have a lot of both governments and also private industries that are working together to get us to space and to take us beyond, to see what else is out there. And it's this younger generation. It's surprisingly, it's a generation who grew up, 30, 40 years after Apollo 11 touched down on the moon.
And it sounds so hopeful when you talk about it that way. And I think space has always been that. Even when it was a more sort of nationalistic approach and not an international approach, there was something about the hopefulness of people coming together to do something amazing. And it feels like we are taking those steps right now. And I think the images that we see anymore from the telescopes are shockingly cool.
Yeah.
Now, is this science fiction, or these are things that are happening in real life right now to make these future things happen?
It feels like science fiction, right? But it's science reality. This is work that's happening right now. And some of the stuff is untested, some of it's still in development, but they are actively working to make this stuff actionable, to get us into space and to make it sustainable.
And affordable. They're trying to make it affordable.
To make it affordable, so it's not just for astronauts, it's not just for scientists, but for civilians as well.
And billionaires.
And did I just notice that it was narrated by Chris Pine, the current James T. Kirk in the Star Trek films?
Do you have a favorite Kirk? I feel like you would.
It's Shatner.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, Chris Pine does a fine job, but it's Shatner. Come on.
Can I talk to you about you as an astronaut for a second?
Yes, of course.
If you were going, that's what he is, Bob.
And the training he's undergone.
Yes. We appreciate you taking the time. If you were abandoned in space for 275 days,
you're really worked up about
how would you feel?
You know what? It would probably just be nice to kind of have have the space. Yeah, to have the break a little bit. You know, you're not getting emails if
That
you're
is
stranded
true.
in space.
No cell phones.
In space, no one can hear you email.
No one can hear you email. You can just be out there and let it go. And I wonder, if you're on this high dairy diet or this high fiber diet in space, could you propel yourself given the right direction and frequency?
I don't think that's ever been tested in Houston. And if that was tested, we would have a problem.
I feel like you two could, maybe convince someone to do so.
Probably. What's your costume budget at the Cincinnati Museum Center, by the way?
Paper thin.
Paper thin?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Hey, so this is the latest, OmniMax sensation, but you are also in the middle of something called Max Madness going on.
Madness.
How's that going? How's it going for you?
Everyone's so excited about brackets being released yesterday. And I'm like, we did that 2 weeks ago.
Right.
What are you talking about? It is a 16 film bracket to see who's the queen of the dome screen. So we took 16 of our classic OmniMax films, pitted them against each other. We did a little studio analysis. Yeah, we put on our own studio bracket analysis show. And we break down each matchup, what to look for, why we think one film may beat another film. And it's really surprising, but everyone can go online, cincymuseum.org, and you vote for your favorite films.
Okay.
Right now, we are in the Elite 8. We're getting ready to release the final 4.
Oh, wow, okay.
So we've got 2 weeks left
Okay.
to see which film is going to come out on top.
Do you have, not to bias anything, but do you have a favorite? I mean, there are so many unbelievable things that have played on that OmniMax screen. Do you have one that pops for you?
It's tough because you're thinking, OmniMax, you're thinking visuals. Sometimes you're thinking narrator. Sometimes you're thinking soundtrack. National Parks Adventure is fantastic. It has Robert Redford narrates it.
Okay.
Awesome. It's about the national parks. You get these wonderful, amazing, expansive views of the American West. And it's got a pretty wonderful soundtrack. So National Parks Adventure, doing pretty well. It's in the Elite 8. It's going up against Serengeti, which we did a fun little parody video for. And so
You have a little bit of fun, Cody.
we try to. So it's fun because people are coming into these for different reasons. Maybe they've not seen them. They're just basing it on the poster or the trailer. Just like people who fill out NCAA brackets, they're basing on the mascots and stuff like that. So
that's correct.
Do you think your kids have a favorite? Is it different than yours?
I think they really like Superpower Dogs.
Yeah.
That seemed to be doing
was
pretty
cool.
well, too.
Yeah.
Superpower, it's tough. Which way is this going? Oh my gosh. Is this regulation
beard is-
size? Man, you know what? We're talking about Space and New Frontier, but here on Earth, the budget for space uniforms are a little
We'll
light.
get you a bigger helmet next time.
Thanks.
Tickets, all that kind of stuff. Just the easiest way online.
Yep, cincymuseum.org. It's showing now. It's really exciting. Some really wonderful visuals and like a lot of hope too for what lies beyond
amazing.
what
Well,
we're aiming for up there.
Then when it comes to talking about space, the state of Ohio and at the Museum Center in particular, we know from things going on in space.
I grew up in Neil Armstrong's hometown.
Sure.
He's my dude. It's in my DNA.
Yeah, very cool. Dude, this, obviously.
Thanks
it's
for
in
helping
your
us
DNA.
propel into the future.
Let's hope we get back in the next 275 days.
Be nice. Because we have like one commercial break to get our feet back on the ground.
The exciting too, Ted Lasso is coming back.
Believe!
We have the details on a new season of this feel-good show. That's coming up next on Arc Cincinnati. We didn't try the ice cream. Try it, boys. We can't have dairy. Shame on the astronauts.
Oh, horrible.
Crunchy.
Is it hard?
It's green for St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, there you go.
So even
I
in
finally
space
have my
we're being-
green now.
What percent of astronauts are Irish? Someone right in?
4%.
4%?
Do you have any idea?
I'm going to say 23%.
Do you know the percentage?
No,
You just threw it out there?
I just threw it out there.
I think I just chipped a tooth.
Is there a dentist in space?
Big Bang gets banged up.
Sheldon and Amy.
Or as we call them, Shamey.
Shamey.
The Big Bang Theory.
Tonight is 7 on Star 64.
On the next Young Sheldon. Sheldon's higher education.
My name is Sheldon Cooper, and I'm your new RA. The age of chaos is over.
Has him learning new lows.
I don't need a pen and paper to take names. Hey, what do you...
The next Young Sheldon.
Tonight at 7:30.
6 layers? More. 15 layers? More. A zillion layers? Infinity layers. More. Wait.
On vacation, I met someone new. They were like me, only different. I learned how to stand on a paddleboard. I went sailing with dolphins. I went snorkeling and I found sea creatures. When you get a little out there, you never know who you might meet. I love that I met me.
Big Sandy has a special message just for you. Come celebrate as we turn 72 and ask the state sales tax. Plus, get free gifts with your furniture purchase, like Tempur-Pedic sheets, Nugget ice maker, or 50-inch LG TV. Save $310 on the Lifestyle sofa and love seat for $939. Get the matching chair free. Save $500 on a queen wall bed, now $1999, plus a 50-inch TV free. And up to 72-month special financing, no money down at Big Sandy's Superstore.
Whew, that was a long ride back to Earth.
I'm okay. I still got a little bit of that
Really?
ice cream
lingers.
sandwich. Yeah,
It lingers.
it's
Are you a fan?
It's
You gonna
okay. I
bring
can eat
those
it.
to your house?
I could survive on that.
On that?
For sure.
I'm actually impressed they have ice cream up there.
They got all kinds of things. That's why Butch and Sonny want to stay. It's just so nice.
No,
up there.
they don't. It was a slow weekend at the box office. The day the Earth blew up, a Looney Tunes movie debuted in 5th place. My kids did not want to see that one.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
I
that
was
makes me
going
sad.
to. And Captain America: Brave New World made $5.5 million still. The spy thriller, Black Bag opened in 3rd place, earning $7.5 million. These are small numbers here.
They are.
After one weekend on top, Mickey 17 squeaked out 2nd place, taking in $7.5 million. And Jack Quaid and Novocaine debuted in 1st place, starting out with just $8.7 million. That's the lowest grossing #1 debut of the year.
Even as you say it, when you said 8 million was enough for #1, that's crazy low.
Pathetic.
Crazy
It's
low.
bad.
What's funny is that movie actually looks sort of funny to me.
Yeah.
The Novocaine movie. Black Bag looks really good. Sort of a spy thriller,
Yeah.
and it's got a great cast. So there's a couple movies in there I would like to see, but anymore, to get my rump off of one of these and into a movie theater takes something big. You
We
know
go
what I mean?
all the time,
Do you
but
really?
it is majority kids.
Yeah, well.
I don't get to see.
Your boys are that age.
Yeah.
You'll go for like 5 to 10 years. If you see something that's not animated, it's a miracle.
It's so true.
Seriously.
But I don't feel like there was enough advertising and promotion for either one of any of those movies.
The Looney
other
Tunes
than
one,
Captain
I hadn't
America.
heard for like it was like a week out before I had
same.
heard that a Looney Tunes movie was coming
Yeah,
out.
that's not enough.
No. Hey, Sony is re-enlisting in Starship Troopers nearly 30 years after Paul Verhoeven's over-the-top military movie. Columbia Pictures has drafted District 9 and Elysium filmmaker Neil Blomkamp to write and direct a new version. He'll reportedly draw on the original 1959 novel, not the 1997 movie adaptation.
You need to speak to this one. I don't know
Okay,
much.
here's what's crazy. When I tell people, especially given my interest in sci-fi and that
Right.
kind of thing generally, when I tell people I've not seen Starship Troopers, they get very disappointed in me because it's a movie that apparently, if your movie interests sort of aligned with things that I like, it's a thing you should have seen.
And why haven't you?
I don't know. I have no reason.
Well, it sounds like you need to see, what is it, the 1959 version first.
Well, that's the novel, and then there's the movie version is 1997.
So they're going off the novel.
Correct.
Got it.
Correct.
Okay.
So we'll see. I mean, people who love Starship Troopers, like really love Starship Troopers. I have something that I know you and I both love, though, and we're going to talk about that next.
Yes.
Some good news for Ted Lasso fans. The Emmy-winning comedy is coming back for a 4th season. The return comes nearly 2 years after season 3 wrapped. Jason Sudeikis is back to reprise his role as the lovable UK-based football coach. Sudeikis, in a podcast interview, said he'll be coaching a women's team this go round. He'll continue to serve as an executive producer and co-show developer. The full cast roster has not been announced just yet, nor has an exact air date for the new season. The feel-good show has won 13 Emmys, including Outstanding Comedy Series and Lead Actor for Jason Sudeikis. And let's not forget, it wasn't just some podcast that he said it on. The New Heights podcast.
Yeah.
He told the Kelsey brothers that this was going down, which is pretty cool. I love the show.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait.
It's probably a top 5 all-time TV show for me. And I feel like when it first came out, with its generally optimistic view of things, it was.
We needed it at that moment too.
No, really, I think that's it, and I think that level of hopefulness in entertainment, just in general, is a cool thing. Like, it's okay for things to be positive. It's okay to feel.
But it was also real. He battled depression. He
had some very real struggles. Yes.
And so that was a beautiful part of it as well. That
100%.
You can battle both.
Correct.
And still make it out alive, because sometimes it feels like you have to be one or the other.
There is that speech that he gives, and it's one of the very early episodes, and it's the one you always see as you're scrolling through your Instagram or your Facebook. It's when he's playing darts. And when he drops some Walt Whitman on everybody, be curious, not judgmental. If that doesn't hit you, then you're not paying enough attention probably to the world right now. It's just such an important point to consider being outside of your bubble a little bit, to consider about what other people think and where they're coming from and all of that. It's just, I don't know. It was an incredibly important message, incredibly well delivered.
Absolutely.
So I'm looking forward to it.
But he's got a lot to live up to.
Yes. Oh, for sure.
For this next phase, because
Right.
obviously it's taking a bit of a turn. I couldn't find who was coming back with him. You found a little bit of that though, right?
This was going back, I want to say, gosh, a couple months ago when there were first
Right.
rumors about a season
we actually
4.
heard everybody was, but not him.
Correct. And the only person that I had not seen mentioned somewhere in terms of coming back was the actor who played Jamie Tart. Now, nothing's definitive. This is one of those, I think I saw it here and I think I saw it over there. So don't believe it until you see it, somewhere. But at least there were stories out there suggesting, despite the fact that it sounds like he'll be coaching a new team, a lot of the folks from the other cast hopefully will be back as well.
How do they turn that around?
I don't know.
Obviously, completely different team,
Right.
new management,
Season
It's
4 and the right
exciting.
amount of money, they will find a way.
That is exciting.
Yeah.
All right, take a look at Disney's new trailer for the...
That was another one. Freaky Friday was a book long before it was a movie.
Right, and
I think
feel
early
there's been
70s maybe that book
multiple
came out.
adaptations, I feel like.
Oh.
Not exactly Freaky Friday, but...
we went through a
the 13
period
going on
in
30
the
or whatever.
80s where
Everybody was switching bodies.
like Father Like Son with Dudley Moore. so many of those kind of movies, and they're always, they're fun.
They're funny.
They're different.
Perspective, as you were just speaking on.
Right. So important.
It's very important.
All right. Also important, commercial breaks, because people pay for them, and then we make money. It's awesome. Let's
keep our jobs.
Let's take one of those commercial breaks. We'll be right back.
Dupixent can help people with asthma breathe better in as little as 2 weeks. So this is better. And this. Dupixent is an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma. It's not for sudden breathing problems and doesn't replace a rescue inhaler. It's proven to help prevent asthma attacks. Severe allergic reactions can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor right away of signs of inflamed blood vessels, like rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in limbs. Tell your doctor of new or worsening joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop steroid, asthma, or other treatments without talking to your doctor. Ask your specialist about Dupixent.
Greg takes Prevagen for his brain, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I live in Bloomington, Illinois. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me. I've been taking Prevagen for 8 years now, and it's still helping me tremendously.
Prevagen, for your brain.
Liberty Mutual is all she talks about since we saved hundreds by bundling our home and auto insurance.
It's pronounced Biberty.
Liberty.
Biberty. Nice try, kid. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, liberty, liberty.
Liberty.
Get this low-mileage lease on this 2025 Cadillac XT5 Premium Luxury for around $569 per month. Visit your Cincinnati or Northern Kentucky Cadillac dealer today.
Coping with grief can feel impossible, but help is available. Liz Bonus hosts a panel of experts about moving forward in a healthy way. March 23rd at 6 a.m. on Local 12. Sponsored by the following sponsors.
Bend, swerve, and floor it to your local mini dealer for unrivaled offers today.
A little bit gloomy for you here,
Yeah.
even though we're trying to lighten the sky a bit. I don't think we're going to see much sun today. For your St. Patrick's Day, I'd say the warmer green gear, a good idea. And afternoon high will be met with some sunshine eventually. You will get that. But high's only 52. I've got a warm up for you Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll make sure and show you that coming up in the 9 o'clock hour on Local 12 and Star 64. Just a little bit exciting here on a Monday, March Madness and bracket season. We have a winner to the contest for the country's most popular regional slang terms. Did you know this existed?
Well, dictionary.com, it lined up a field of 32 of the most iconic local-ish slang from around the country and let people vote. The 2025 Spring Slang Showdown started with words including nor'easter, skedaddle, yonder, and hankerin'. In the final round, it was stoked from the West, but it was beaten by y'all.
Yeah.
From the South. And y'all, to me, and I get we're right here on the river, so y'all feels a little more extensive than only in the South anymore. You know what I mean? Y'all feels like,
I feel like
how y'all doing? Yeah, no?
It's you guys where I'm from, but I've definitely taken to y'all.
What aren't there people who say yins? Yins is a thing. Look it up. I promise. Yins. Yeah.
West Virginia.
Yins.
Okay.
I think we have a good end of show post for today. So go to the ARC Cincinnati with Bob and Jen Facebook page to participate, because we'll let people know some of your answers here. If you could give a television show one more season, like Ted Lasso just added one more season, what TV show would it be? You'll see the end of show post on our page. It's yellow. Go there now. We'll see.
Nobody beats Windows Direct USA's buy 3, get 3 free offer. Plus, you can get a whole house of windows for just $99 a month at
WindowsDirectUSA.com. Big Sandy has a special message just for you. Come celebrate at